Well, it ain't my fault we're late.
It's my fault.
Jeez. How is everybody doing? I'm all nervous because we had some technical difficulties. Shocker, in the members only stream. And so it has me a little bit nervous. But we're gonna push through it. It was my fault. And I'm not gonna do the things that I did in that stream that made the technical issues happen. So we should be good to go. How is everybody doing? We have no agenda tonight at all. It's all up to you. We don't really have anything to update on. I mean, you know, like I said in the member stream, I said about the only thing we have to update anybody on is we've been selling a heck of a lot of betas. And that's a good thing. Yes. Finally, with the system being done, you know, we've got a full assortment of betas in there. You found, I showed you a new strategy for getting the fish up on the website. So life is good. We went to an amazing comedy show over the weekend. So that buttered us up for, well, we're still buttered up. It was still a lot of fun wearing the shirts from that event. Joe Coy, in case you are wondering, if you're a stand-up comedy fan, you know who he is. I'm a huge fan, and so is Lisa Marie now. Mm-hmm. She didn't really know him going in, but now she knows him. She's a fan, and she's got a picture with him, too.
Absolutely best comedy show I have ever been to.
That's saying a lot, because I've taken her to Dane Cook, Sebastian Maniscalco, Tim Allen, Brad Williams, now Joe Coy. You didn't go to Tom Segura with me, but we got Chris D'Elia tickets next month, and I'm hoping that she becomes a huge fan of him.
No, only Joe Coy.
I said I wasn't going to show the video, and I will not, but I do want to show this to everybody. If you are a stand-up comedy fan and you're familiar with Joe Coy, we've got, I got to adjust the size, but a photo of Lisa with Joe Coy. If you follow Lisa Marie on Instagram, you didn't put that on the Kids Tropicals one, did you? Yeah. If you follow her on Instagram, then you would have seen that on there.
And you would have seen his comment because I tagged him in it and he commented back. I was like,
he did comment, which is
like commented on my Instagram.
That was so wild. It was like 2 a.m. I'm a good guy because when we get home from going out, which we rarely do, why am I even looking at the camera? She has to take her bath. She still takes baths, and that's cute. Gosh. And so basically, even if it's 2 a.m. when we get home, I get to come in here and go through emails and do things like that. And then while she takes her bath, and she came down here screaming that he had responded. That is really, really cool. That's the first time like any real celebrity that I'm aware of has said anything on our social medias.
I mean, I remember getting really excited when Plain Arena commented on mine before too, because I like Plain Arena a lot, and I love watching her YouTube videos, and you know, it just makes you realize how much everybody is just a regular, normal person, and it's just really cool when they do stuff like that.
I mean, I put Plain Arena, no disrespect to her, but I put her at the same level as us, like celebrities to us, but not celebrities to, I mean, my mom knows who Joe Coy is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, my 76-year-old mother. Oh, the guy that says Joseph. Yeah, that's the guy. I mean, she even knows who he is. So that's a big deal when somebody like that comments on your Instagram.
I mean, we're like besties now and everything, so it's just really cool.
Well, I'm not going to show you the video. I'm not going to show you the video proof because it included too many technical difficulties, but the members did get to see it. I have video footage of Joe Coy telling me he loves me. It's true.
And fist bump. Yep. I was like so involved with getting a selfie with him. I wasn't able to get that footage because I was trying to get out of the bushes. So for me to get my selfie with Joe Coy, I had to go. There's this jerk in front of me. Wouldn't let me like.
He was a big fella too.
Yeah. So I did what I do, and I made sure I got my selfie one way or the other. And so I had to straddle a fire hydrant to get into the bushes to turn and be able to get that selfie with Joe. You know, my good friend Joe.
First
now.
name basis with him
Joe.
now, yeah.
So so while I was doing that, he turned, you know, when we were done doing the selfie, because he was like, at least I gotta go. So he turned and he went to John, and John said like, oh, great show and all that. And as I was getting out of the bushes and re-straddling to get over the fire hydrant, I didn't have time to get my camera out to get a picture, but he fist bumped John and said, I love you.
He really did.
Cool.
It's true. I have video footage of it, but I'm not going to show it because I don't want to mess this whole thing up again. But yeah, that's literally the only thing we've done all week. I did get, for all my bobblehead and Funko fans, I bought this autographed. He didn't sign it. I mean, he was signing people's stuff when we encountered him outside of the event, but we didn't give him anything to sign. And I paid a ridiculous amount of money for that already signed. And I was actually watching him sign people's stuff, and it was the same. So
Yeah.
I think it is an authentic autograph. But yeah, it's really the only thing that we've done. I mean, it settled back in to our normal working routine once we got back from that. But I did do something to the fish room that I'm really happy about, that you will never see, but I put a new doorknob on the door to the fish room.
Amazing. It's the coolest doorknob ever because it's the old-fashioned kind, you know, like has the latch thingy because the bar goes up. Anyway, you know, old.
I really should have done a Money Pit video on that because it was more involved than anything else. But if you've seen videos of our fish room, you know that it's folding doors. It's French doors. But the problem is they're only like 1.25 inches thick, where most doors are significantly thicker than that. So, and it's also a lap door. So there's a notch cut in the front of one door and the back of the other, so that when they go together, they overlap each other, which makes it impossible to do a traditional doorknob or deadbolt or anything like that on it. So I had to get creative as to what I would use. And the main reason why was because you would have to lock yourself in there basically so that the wind doesn't blow open the door and Carl run out or baby Kitty run out. So you would lock yourself in there, and then she would be in the beta section, and it's pretty loud in there. And I'd be at the front door knocking, can you let me in? And she can't hear me. And it was a huge pain. So we wanted to get something that latched and made it so that you didn't have to lock yourself in there.
I still do.
Here I go again.
If you're not around or something, I still lock myself in.
Well, that makes sense, but
I don't want someone knocking on the door and coming in. Hey, can I see your fish?
Yeah, do you sell African cichlids? I mean, it's bound to happen at some point, but not anymore because you can't get in because we can lock it all up. But yeah, I mean, as far as the fish room goes, I feel like I'm in another one of those zones, and I hate that I do this, but when you finally finish a big project and it's like, whew, I'm going to take a couple of days to myself, and then you blink your eyes and it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to fall into that. I did do some work on the super secret project. And that is, I wonder, did we get the email about that super secret project? It has not come through yet, but we'll get one today.
Yeah.
And we need to do something this weekend that will facilitate that super secret project. And then I can get started on making the video for that. But it's going to be a few weeks before a video comes out on that one. And it'll all make sense why it's taken so long to to get this done. But it's not that it's the most involved project. It's more that we have to do some things once the project is done. It'll make sense. I'll make it make sense to everybody. So
welcome to Fry Robin Rayner. Thank you for becoming a member.
21 Biking also became a new member. Lots of new members tonight, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Joe Provenzano said for John's new super secret project, hey, speak of the devil, hiring Lisa a maid.
I made a joke on the member stream that I wanted a maid so I didn't have to stress out about house stuff, so I could be in the fish room even more than what I already am. It was a joke. I'll still do stuff.
The topic came up of how long are we going to be in there? Like if our business continues to grow, we're going to have to involve other people and before you know it, again, the definition of a business growing is eventually we would need more space and the beta system would have to get moved, which is my worst nightmare. But you got to do what you got to do when it comes to your business. But then I said, unless the business just stays the size it is right now and we just work at just the two of us forever, then I'd be fine with that too.
And then
I don't really know if I'd be fine with that, but
I said that I wouldn't mind working it forever and even more. I don't know how much more we can do, honestly, because we can't add more days. We can't add more hours.
It's true.
We can't stop sleeping. So it's eventually we're going to have somebody come out. But I made the joke of if I got a maid, because that would free me up to be in the fish room more.
Lisa gave me a throat lozenge thing because her and I were both coughing in the member stream, and I've been doing it already today in this.
I think it's
don't even know why.
I think it's allergies or ragweed or something out here. It's North Carolina.
I don't know if you all are this way, and I've never talked to you about this, but if you eat something really minty, does it make you sneeze? Because I'm fighting off a sneeze right now. I really don't want to do it, but.
Well, Adam Schoenwald, I think I said that right. I think I did pretty good at that. Gifted 10 kg tropical memberships. Wow. Thank you, Adam. And I remember you because I boxed up your order. I remember that.
So if it was wrong, don't be complaining to me. Complain straight to her.
Oh, stop.
She rarely makes mistakes. It's always me that screws things up.
And Jack has been a member for 13 months.
Wow, look at that. Look at this guy go. And we still haven't said his full name on YouTube. And Bruce became a member. What is this with all these members tonight?
Because
this is crazy.
Adam gave people memberships.
That might be what it is. That is crazy. Welcome, Bruce. Roscoe 415. Roxo. I said that wrong, and I apologize. Roxo 415. I need help. Just realized one of my beta girls has prolapse. How can I treat her? I've only seen people suggesting Epsom salt baths.
That's probably about the only thing I would suggest too.
I've never known that to be something.
Prolapse isn't. It's not going to go back in. It's sad, but. I've not known it to be treatable. Sorry.
And that is a terrible diagnosis, and we apologize, Roxo. But that is a tough one. I mean...
I think the Epsom salt baths will help with,
if it's extreme constipation that caused that, maybe...
It's like having a hemorrhoid. But a prolapse is when the inside comes out.
I know what it is, and that's disturbing. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I hope it all works out. High performance trucking with $2. Hey, life is good. You daggone right it is. I mean, it just is. I've been walking in the mornings and it's glorious. And I'm meeting all of the neighborhood animals, all the dogs. Saw 5 cats laying in one yard today. She wanted me to steal them, but I refused to do it. There's so many dogs that just sit on people's front porches and just look at me. while I walk by. And we're talking big dogs. And I don't know if they're behind like electric fences or something, but they don't run after me. And I'm glad that they don't, because, you know, I'm not in the best shape to be running from dogs right now. And I don't want to just kick one in the face.
No.
But I've been listening to, go ahead, make fun of me all you want. I am on Goblet of Fire. I'm on chapter 22 of Goblet of Fire, listening
What's
to
that?
it's the fourth Harry Potter book. Yeah, I've never read the books because I can't read books because my mind just can't focus. So listening to audiobooks is a lot of fun. It's like listening to an 11-hour long movie, and it's glorious for when you're doing a long walk. 3.5 miles a day I've been doing, and it gets me through it. And I heard so many people of all these movies, whether it's Harry Potter or Game of Thrones or whatever movies, they talk about, oh, it's so different from the books. Yeah, it's true. Especially Goblet of Fire is so different from the books, or from the movies, but I love the movies, and I don't care what anybody says. I'll say it to your face. And everybody says Prisoner of Azkaban is their favorite one. No, Goblet of Fire is my favorite one, and I'll say it to your face. I don't care how big you are.
So Papa Shrimp says, hey, you two. Happy September.
Got to see him. I know. That's so crazy.
I had to change all my Scentsies today. All the Scentsy smells had to change to cinnamon and pumpkin spice. And I was like, he went out for his walk and he came home and I was like, doesn't it smell so fall-ish?
It is glorious. And, you know, fall means bye-bye bugs, and that's all I care about.
They're not gone yet.
Kim Yu became a member. I don't know if these are members that became members by choice or were gifts from Adam, but either way, welcome to the team. High Performance Trucking on the 12th. I will be getting trained to be a road trainer. This will send me into the next tax bracket. Uh-oh. May need to buy a big house, have 7 tanks, now a 210, a 119. Wait a minute. Am I not seeing this whole thing? Hang on here. Let me move this over. A 119 and 375s, a 55 and a 16 gallon. I've never heard of a 119 gallon.
Interesting.
I'd be interested to know the dimensions on that, or maybe it was like a custom tank or something like that.
Maybe it's a 125 only filled up with 119 gallons of water.
It could be that. That's why I married this woman, because she's so smart. Because we're self-employed, I don't know what tax bracket we're in. We are comfortable in our lifestyle, but I've had a lot. I know a lot of people. I have a lot of friends that own businesses. Give you an example. I'm not going to say who this was because he may show up in one of my videos one day. But I was with a friend of mine a couple of months ago, and he works in the fish business, and he was going to take me somewhere. And we went, and he's like, we'll take my truck. And it was a brand new, I mean, sparkling new Ram 2500. And it was like, I forget, the club wagon something. Like, it's like a $90,000 truck. And I was like, damn, you're doing all right for yourself. And he says, well, the accountant told me I had to go buy stuff.
Gosh, I wish our accountant would say that.
I was like, my accountant's never said that. That's I've never heard those words before. You need to go spend money on yourself. I've never heard that. So maybe when I get to the tax bracket you're in, High Performance Trucking, I will know how that feels, and I'll just be forced to go buy stuff. It's a good problem to have. Sean Damon, hey, going to have my 90-gallon liter albino Oscar. I'm going to say little albino Oscar. That's what I think you meant by that. Spell check. I understand. 5 blood parrots, pair of electric blue Acaras, Jack Dempsey's, Senegal biker, ropefish, gold nut complex. This keeps on going. Growing out the Oscar for my 125. Okay. So the Oscar will leave, and you'll be left with 5 blood parrots. It's a lot. A pair of electric blue Acaras. They're small. Jack Dempsey's just going to hide all the time. Senegal bikers don't get huge. Ropefish, they don't, I'm not familiar with them. They get bigger than Senegals, don't they? Gold nugget pleco, we ain't got to worry about that. You might be moving more than just the Oscar to that 125. That just seems like a lot. That seems crowded to me for a 90 gallon. But you're not asking my opinion. You're just saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. And so for that, I'm happy with you, my friend. That sounds like a lot of fun. The more activity, the more colors, the more movement you get in there, the more fun this is. So keep that water clean and nobody can say anything to you.
Regina Phalange says, I'm getting my babies are going to be here on Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah. Her babies. You know, the ones that her and I were talking about through email? Yeah. I'm excited for you, Regina.
I don't know what that is.
Super excited.
I don't
He's
remember
having a
things.
brain to
I don't remember things. I'm
don't.
sorry.
But anyways, I want pictures. Please send me pictures. Please.
Furloughs Aquatics, my good friend, crazy person from down there in Florida, says, happy Thursday. Good to see you both. Well, it's good to see your words too, Eric. Thank you.
I lurked on your stream Sunday for like 5 minutes, but I couldn't respond or anything because I had my hands in a fish tank, and it's kind of hard. I can't get into chat a lot of times and respond. I'll just lurk on people's streams so I can kind of know what's going on in the world.
We got to know what y'all are up to. Can't be having stuff sneak up on us.
Well, right now, it's been a little bit of the, fish streams I've been like lurking on, but it's been a whole lot of like Ink Master right now. I've been watching a lot of those reruns and stuff on YouTube, so trying to get a little Zen knows.
I told her to do that, never in a million years thinking that she actually would, but she has.
Oh, and there's this other girl. It doesn't matter. I'm sure nobody cares. But I found a few channels. I'm really getting into it. So, Zen, I'm going another direction. Well, I'll talk to you about it.
Let the games begin. Jack says, thank you for all the insight and help you do for the community. It takes a lot of stress out of the hobby. Thank you. Well, geez, you are very welcome. I give you a hard time about your name all the time. And the fact that you could still say nice things like that makes me very happy. Thank you, my friend. Mm-hmm. Ligate 12 and his glorious beard says, so my axolotls laid eggs 2 weeks ago and they just hatched.
Oh, cute.
And now they laid eggs again.
Oh my gosh, so many babies.
So much for having 2 males, I guess. Yeah. That's a surprise. I got to say, axolotls, that is an animal I've never kept. No. You've never kept. Mm-mm. But they are some of the cutest, most adorable, weirdest, most odd, coolest, neatest, most precious little things.
They have a similar thing like that in North Carolina. I have to find it. Let me see.
Well, while you do that, Whips World says, something's wrong. Shut the light. Heavy thought. Oh, here we go. See, I start reading thinking he's saying that. All right. Something's wrong. Shut the light. Heavy thoughts tonight. And they aren't of Snow White. Dreams of war, dreams of liars, dreams of dragon's fire, and the things that will bite. Enter Sandman. Next.
Oh, I'm Googling.
Don't bring me Metallica. Whip. I almost said your real name. Don't bring me Metallica. Don't play that game with me because that's not going to work. Metallica is one of the few. And, sometimes, listen, folks, sometimes people complain. Like they talk about things that are not fished too much. It's Whip's fault. I mean, look what he's doing here. It's not my fault. I didn't ask him to do that. He brought up Enter Sandman lyrics. I mean, but no, Metallica. There's a lot of Metallica songs. I used to listen to Metallica constantly when we were skateboarding. And it was Master of Puppets. It was Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning. And so there's a lot of songs that I know every word to, but I would probably struggle to tell you the name because I just heard them over and over and over again. and I probably don't know the name of them. But Enter Sandman, come on. I mean, I know you were trying to take it easy on me tonight because you're like, man, he hasn't gotten one of these in like 10 weeks. Ever since Breaking Benjamin, he hasn't gotten one. So thank you for throwing me the softball. I appreciate it. Catwoman VA, yep, my birthday yesterday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Means goodbye summer and hello fall. Some dread my birthday, i.e. kids going back to school while others love it. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love summer. The heat doesn't bother me. Heat actually makes me like, if I'm working on a project and it's really hot, it makes me work harder and I have to actually like stop myself and drink and stuff like that, because I'll make myself sick. But out here, it's the bugs make it almost impossible to do that. And so we're scheduling all of our outdoor projects for the wintertime, fall, winter, and spring. I mean, we get a good solid, I mean, it's like 7 months a year of no bugs. So the 5 months a year or however many months a year it is, we haven't lived here a full year yet, so we don't know. But I know it was late May when I first noticed the bugs. And now here we are. It's September. It's going to go away soon.
It's not a salamander, but sorry. It's something that it's supposed to look like an axolotl, but it's like wild or something and native to North Carolina, but it's not pink. I forget.
Axolotls are so cool, and they get so much bigger than I thought. Yeah. Have you ever seen like a full grown one? They get big, not like Arowana big, but they get a lot bigger than I thought. They are Joe Coy shirts, Edward. Yes, they are. That is a Joseph shirt. Joseph. And we saw him last weekend, and he told me he loved me.
Joseph. There.
Joseph.
Joseph.
Oinkmaster Supreme forever. Are gold nuggets or other plecos in that price range any more delicate than others? Also, what are your favorite colors? I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. I am sorry, folks. You would probably guess that my favorite color is black because that's what I wear all the time. It's a self-conscious thing. It's a self-esteem thing. I wear black because it's just what I'm most comfortable in.
Let me look up.
But my favorite color is blue. I mean, you don't see any blue in here. I mean, you see a little blue in Superman and Walter White's shirt there. The KG Tropicals cup here. My favorite color is blue. Yours, I don't know. What's your favorite color? Clear?
I don't really have a favorite. I don't know. I wear a lot of, I don't know. I just I don't know.
If I had to pick a favorite color for you, like clothing that you wear that you look the best in, it's blue.
Oh.
But I'm a little biased. Are the gold nuggets or other plecos more delicate than others? Oh. I am going to be completely honest with you. And people may disagree with me. I am not a pleco expert. But in my experience, the answer is no. They're not difficult to keep. Now, if you want to breed them and stuff like that, there's certain conditions that you have to give them and all of that. But simply keeping them, we've got a couple of the, oh, jeez. I don't even know what we have. It's kind of embarrassing. She would know. But what is that?
It's called a mud puppy. Whip is the one that, I knew I had seen it. I just couldn't recall what it was called. But it's a mud puppy. It's a type of salamander. And doesn't it look similar to an axolotl?
It looks like an axolotl and a biker had a baby.
Yeah. Thank you, Whip. He said mud dog, but it's a mud puppy.
It's definitely not New York Yankees blue, Joe. It's more of a bright blue would be my, definitely not Dallas Cowboy blue.
Oh.
More of a bright blue. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to describe it. Blue Sharpie blue. That blue. That's my favorite.
But I like this blue.
That's nice too.
I like navy blue. Yeah, I like navy blue. It's one of my favorite.
Sean McDowell became a member, as well as Yummy Connected became members.
Nice.
And I'm all caught up on my end.
Yay.
Leo says gold nuggets are hard to keep alive. I have not found them to be hard. I mean, but that doesn't mean they're not. Maybe it's, I'm just so good. I don't know. But no, I mean, it's the name of this game is keeping water clean. There's some fish, like right now, my poor Oscars and Bikers, their tank is so dirty right now. It's embarrassing.
I haven't cleaned it.
It's not your responsibility. Anytime you do that, that's just a favor to me, and I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
But now I'm going to get out there either tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday and get a nice big giant water change done in that. Carolina blue, yeah, it's more like that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there you go. But you know, keeping water clean. Think about it. Any fish that you've ever heard of that's hard to keep, everybody says you got to do a lot of water changes. Well, does that make them hard to keep? That just means they want really clean water. That doesn't make them hard to keep.
That means you are supposed to take care of your fish.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to constantly be chasing parameters around and stuff like that. I mean, I don't want fish like that, if I'm being honest with you. I don't want fish that I have to be constantly altering my water to be able to accommodate them. I don't want that. I want fish that will be good out of my tap water the way it is. And that's not a lazy thing. That's more, I don't want to be chasing parameters around all the time. I mean, if we were going to get into something that needed that, or else we wouldn't be able to do it, then I would put things in place to keep the parameters the way they need to be, naturally, rather than having to put additives in the water and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't know, just my opinion.
I mean, that's why, like, if you go to the fish store, it's okay to ask them their water parameters, you know, find out what the fish is currently in already. Like, you know, what pH is it in? Where did they get it from? Hopefully it's not wild caught, because then, you know, you're trying to chase parameters. But, you know, get something, if you get a fish close to what your parameters, if you get a fish that's in water that's already close to the parameters your water is already in, then it's just easier. So one that isn't bred like out in the wild, and then you're trying to match that. Chasing parameters is not cool.
And I don't answer questions that are in all caps. Don't yell at me. Well-cycled planted... Had another stroke.
Stop
With a
doing
well-cycled planted tank, do you have to clean it often, or will prime and the biocycle help? So you're not going to want to depend on the cycle to do your job for you. The answer to your question is yeah. I mean, if you think about what plants do, what the cycle does and what plants do, they kind of work together to solve all of our problems, right? But you should still be monitoring things, seeing what's going on. Steamfot brought up a good point the other night.
Who?
Steamfot. You know that guy?
No, it sounded like you said Steam Bob.
That guy that's not good at ping pong, you know that guy?
But you didn't even say his name right. It's like you were embarrassed to even say Steamfot. You were like Steam Bob.
Well, after the abysmal performance he had on the ping pong table, I get lazy when it comes to saying his name. But he brought up a good point the other night where he said he was talking about people always, and I've talked about this before too, people always say, I have this problem with my tank and I don't know what it is. My water's perfect.
Oh.
And then you ask the person, oh, well, what did your test kit say? And they're like, well, I don't have a test kit. People always say their water's perfect. Now, who asked that question that I was getting to before? Yemi Connected. I'm not saying that about you. What I'm saying is a lot of people do that. They'll say, I have this huge problem, but I don't have my water's perfect, so it's obviously not my fault. Well, yeah, it probably is, because you haven't tested your water. And the reason why I say that is because you ask that person, well, what are your water parameters? I don't know. It's just clean and perfect, so there can't be anything wrong with it. I did a change a month ago, and I always change my filter cartridge, so it should be fine. The water's not the problem. Well, how do you know? Test strips or test kits, one or the other. And Bob was like, don't tell me you can't go and buy a $15 pack of test strips. I mean, you have hundreds of dollars invested into your aquarium. You have $15 to go buy test strips. And I wanted to comment, but then I just didn't want to, and I just forgot about it. And so what I'm getting at, Yemi, is test your water and see if it needs any more help from you. I don't care what anybody says. There's no such thing as a tank that you never have to do water changes in. I don't care what anybody says. I just think that's ridiculous, because eventually it's going to need one. There are certainly tanks that require water changes far less than others, but you have to do it. You have to know you have to do it. So when your water test shows that it's time for you to give a little help to your tank with all the plants in it, then that's when you do it. Otherwise, you're good. I hope that makes sense. Went a long way on that one. I'm sorry.
There's a question here I want to address. And I'm not picking on you, Gabriel Mortier.
Oh, boy.
They say they have a 10-gallon. I have 2 female betas, 3 cories, and believe it or not, a Jack Dempsey coexisting. Bigger tank on the way. Thoughts? Okay. What is going to end up happening if you don't change that is you're only going to have a Jack Dempsey. For one. So,
Facts.
but what this is, okay. 2 female betas. Not sure if you're trying to do a sorority, but that would be 5 or more. I mean, I would never do anything less than 5. In a bigger tank, not a 10-gallon. So my suggestion is to separate those females anyway. 3 cories, they usually like to be with more than just 3 of their own. They, like 6 to 8 is usually the ideal cories.
I
they
mean,
like
it doesn't
to
have to be.
kind of school around or whatever. So yeah, you'd probably want more cories. Maybe keep the 10-gallon, put a few more cories in with one of your female betas, and then the Jack Dempsey needs to go in a totally different tank.
That's what apparently is happening. It said the bigger tank is on the way. Good for you.
But the bigger tank is on the way. I just wouldn't want him to put all of them in the tank together. That's all I'm saying. Like separate some of them. So, and then you'll be good to go. You can still, put a beta and some cories in the 10-gallon and put the other beta in another tank. Doesn't have to be a 10. It could be a 5. And then the Jack Dempsey can go in the bigger tank with fish that Jack Dempsey's like to be with that are their size. Not picking on you, just trying to help you out.
The analogy that I would use is if you have a cat and you decide your cat is so nice, your cat never hurts anything, and so you decide, I'm going to get a little friend for my cat. I'm going to buy my cat a mouse. When that cat kills that mouse, can you be mad at the cat?
No, I think a better analogy would be getting a kitten and a hamster. And as the kitten grows...
Good point. Yeah, sure. That hamster's going to not be alive.
Yeah. Because cats, which I have found out... I'm not trying to turn this into all about cats, but...
I did it.
We have Jasper, who is an outdoor cat, and I told this story on the members only stream, but there was a snake in the food dish, and Jasper was not happy about that and started batting at it. And it's like he just wanted to play with it, and terrorize it and keep terrorizing it. so I had to sweep the snake into the bush so the cat wouldn't kill it. But that's what they do. They don't want friends that aren't other cats. They want to play with them until they're not alive anymore.
This one's no longer moving. Why is it not moving?
I just wanted to, to throw you around some more and see how many times I could swat you.
Do you think it's safe to put a Jaguar cichlid with a gold severum? I mean, you're talking to a guy that has 3 Oscars with gold severums.
Jaguars get a little bit aggressive.
Jaguars are meaner and more aggressive than Oscars for sure.
I'd put a Jaguar with an Oscar, but severums
we've done that.
Yeah, severums though, they got their cute little mouths. They're like, and they're like cute.
Yeah, see, my problem is I don't look at gold severums or any severums for that matter as fish that would really be able to defend themselves. Like if you had a Jaguar with an Oscar, I mean that you're risking things then too. This is why you see a lot of Jaguars by themselves, but I feel like an Oscar would be able to put up a much better fight than a severum. Severums, I put severums at the same level as Discus. Maybe not the same level as Care, and they certainly don't cost as much.
Discus.
Yeah, I mean, and they look very similar. They're just fatter, and they have these teeny tiny mouths. Our 2 gold severums can get feisty when they have eggs on the wall.
Oh yeah, gosh.
They can get feisty, but they can't do any damage because their mouths are like little bobby pins.
The Oscars are twice as big as them, and they will chase them away.
Yep.
And yeah.
I mean, I probably wouldn't do it, and that's just my opinion. And again, I know you might look at me and be like, "Dude has giants in his tank and they're with gold severums." Like, how could he say that? Well, Jaguars are a different.
Severums are like this big though.
Yeah, they're huge, and Jaguar, that's a different animal. Not, and I know that literally, but it's a different conversation than Oscars. I'll say it to your face. Jaguars are meaner than Oscars, and a lot of people would probably argue with me on that.
Oh, I've seen it when we had ours.
Having said that, Jaguars are awesome. I love that fish.
They're gorgeous.
I just don't think I'd put them with severums.
Oh, I just had one and I want it to.
But I have to get this one because it's been here for a while and I don't want Matt Leparo to wait too long. Best garbage disposal bottom fish. Freshwater. It's two super chats for that.
Oh.
Depends on what you're asking, because that, I'm not picking on you, Matt. You know me, hopefully. You might have only known me for 5 minutes, but I hope you're not asking me what fish will eat poop, because that just doesn't exist. So, none. I mean, okay, some people are going to scream, "Oh my God, no, I see fish eat poop all the time." I don't think you do.
Spit it right back out.
I think you see fish pick up a piece of poop thinking it's food, and then they spit it right back out. And they're like, "Ooh, I got poop in my mouth."
Ew, yuck.
But if you're talking about fish that are going to rummage around and pick up, leftover food that falls down to the bottom and stuff like that, I mean, if we're talking about a community tank, Cory cats all day long. They're always going to be down at the bottom. They're always going to be scourging. I don't think that's a word. Scavenging around to find that food. They're constantly going to be looking around for that. So that's what I would do. And sorry you had to ask that twice. Although you got really impatient because it was only a minute apart. So maybe I shouldn't apologize. But thank you for that, Matt. Get some Cory cats. You'll love them.
Yeah, Corys are cool.
If you have bigger fish and it's more of a monster tank, then I like common Plecos, but I have one in an 8-foot tank, and I probably wouldn't want to put one in something smaller. A 6-foot tank would be fine, but yeah, I like Plecos.
Let's see. Hip Hop Hillbilly asks, how big of a sorority would you put in a 55-gallon? Let's see. How big is my alien one? 75? Is it 70? Well, 55 would be fine too. But
yeah, you have that tank understocked.
well, I keep it. I like. I wouldn't
It's very
say
nice.
understocked.
No, you could put more in there if you wanted to, but it's very nice.
I could put more ditherfish in there. I would not put more aliens in there because once you get a sorority established, you don't want to, because then you're just like really messing up their system. You know, once you add them, leave them. Don't add more. So, but for 55, I would say you could comfortably put in 10, but I would make sure they're all the same size and put them in all at the exact same time. But I would add ditherfish first and let them, you know, get established. And for a 55 gallon, I'd say 20 ditherfish that don't get real big, you know, like a nice small tetra. Because if you put 10 females in, it's not like you're putting males in with long fins. They're going to have shorter fins, I'm sure. So I think you'd be fine with 10 females. But like I said, make sure you put a lot of other fish in there, you know, 15 or 20 that don't get too big, have a lot of stuff going on in there. So they're not all like, you know, those 10 aren't looking at each other like, I'm going to kill you, you know.
You can see it in their face too. You're like, oh no, that one's looking at the other one like, I want to kill you.
Yeah.
Kim Yu became a member. Welcome to the team, Kim Yu. Actually, Kim Yu was already a member and gave a $1.99 super chat with nothing attached to it, which is why it confused me. So thank you, Kim, for not only being a member, but also throwing even more support our way. Thank you for that. That's very generous. High Performance Trucking. I have 2 Jack Dempseys and 4 Severums in a tank, and they're working out great so far. Okay, but we were talking about a Jack Dempsey with a beta. Just saying. Jack Dempsey's, I hope I wasn't putting it out there like Jack Dempsey's are nasty, mean fish, because they're not.
No.
But
just natural for a bigger fish to eat a smaller fish is all. I mean, that's just...
Yay, my order from Rock Auto shipped.
Oh.
Had to order a part for my van.
Oh. Regina Phalanges asks, are there any bottom dwellers that can live with Discus considering the high temperatures that they keep? Oh, it skipped. Well, as far as bottom feeders, what I can tell you what I have in my tank and what works for my tank. I mean, there's a lot of others too. I'm just going to tell you what I have, but I have a albino bristlenose Pleco.
And he's so ugly and adorable.
And he's like this big, but he's not going to get like bigger. He's cute. He's like that big and he's got little bristles coming out. And then I have a vampire Pleco. And you don't see it that often, and it's just so cute because it's like all black and it's got the white dots on it and stuff, and it likes to go up in the wood. The only time he really comes out, oh my gosh, he loves Hans's food too, just like the Discus, because they're carnivores. So they're going to eat like whatever you have down there, but I don't really find either one of them that helpful with algae, though. I'm still cleaning that algae.
Algae's gotten a lot better since I put those curtains up, though. But it's still there. You know, you still have to fight it from time to time. Fisher and Fever said my 6-inch Jack Dempsey is the tank boss to 3 11 to 13-inch bikers. Just saying. Well, that's not a whole lot more different than what I have. I mean, Oscars. Listen. Apparently, I rubbed some people the wrong way when I was talking about Jack Dempsey's. I love Jack Dempsey's. Jack Dempsey's are one of my first fish that I ever bought. I think they're amazing, and I love them. I don't like them with betas, though. Mm-hmm. I like them with bikers, but I don't like them with betas. And that's what we were talking about before. Not trying to pick on whoever that was that asked about it, but
the electric blue Jack Dempsey's are so pretty, too.
They definitely are.
We had a friend. He became a good friend to us when we had the fish store, and he loved breeding Jack Dempsey's, and I guess he got a little overrun and just donated them to us, a bunch of them. And so we had like several tanks of 75s filled with Jack Dempsey's, little babies, and I remember marking them for like $1. just to get rid of them.
And that's not being mean. That's just like having an abundance of them.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to get rid of them. But yeah, they were cool little fish.
Daniel Landeros Jr. with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much for that, my friend. I hope I said your name right. High Performance Trucking with the $10. Scatophagus argus, I believe, eat poop.
Oh.
Are you being a rascal? That's not a real thing. That's not a real fish. I'm going to put that into Google and it's going to pop up like some kind of crazy porn site. I know it.
Oh, don't do that.
That was somebody making up a funny name to sound like something that eats poop. No, it's real.
Oh. Does it say it eats poop?
I don't know, but that's a pretty fish. I'm not familiar with that. Interesting. It's like, why are we watching this guy? He doesn't even know what a Scatophagus argus is. Hey, if you're not learning new things every day, you're doing this thing wrong.
Yeah.
That is a new one to me. And maybe they do eat poop. I don't know, but I never heard that.
Danikin Aquatics says, hello, John and Lisa. Hello, Kenny.
Hi.
Hi.
Matt, I'm struggling with your name, Matt, and I'm really sorry. Loparo, Loparo, I hope I'm saying that right. Would y'all ever do a turtle tank one day? Yes. Yes, we would. We haven't talked about it. She has not given me permission for it. But yes, we definitely would. I think they're adorable. I love turtles.
They're cute. We've talked about it. I want that big one that has the
but that's different than a turtle tank. I mean, you're talking about keeping big giant tortoises.
Is it a sulcata?
Sulcatas. Yeah. I mean, we waited so long to get a property like this, and we dreamt of this for so long, and then it's like, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and do this, and do that, and we've done none of those things.
Because there's so much to do. It's like, there's so much. I'm just trying to keep up with the 2 stray cats I got at this point, and try not to bring others home, because, like, I found one, it was walking down the street, and I'm, like, supposed to be taking a left on my street, right? And I see it out of the corner of my eye walking down the side street over here, and I was like, Urge. So I go down that street to see if the cat wanted to like be rescued, and I was like, hey, kitty, want to come home with me? And it turns around, it has this mouse like in its mouth, a mouse. I think it was dead already, and it looks at me with the mouse in its mouth, and it goes, and just turned around and walked into the field with the crops. And I was like, wow. Ungrateful.
Next year we will do chickens.
We should do baby deer. I found baby deer too. That's a whole nother story. I found baby deer on the side of the road, and one was albino. And
she got video of it. It's true.
It's a true fact. Yeah, they wouldn't get in the car with me. I had totes in the back seat too. Like, I'm always ready to find a stray animal. So
I saw a baby fox yesterday.
What?
I haven't left the house today except for my walk.
You saw a baby fox?
Baby fox.
Where?
It was really cute. It was really cute.
Did you try to go up to it?
No.
Why?
Because it's wild and it ran into a culvert.
I would have been totally following it.
Into the culvert.
I can't believe you didn't tell me about that until now.
Well, because I knew this would happen. Wow. Sean Damon. Hey, John, I have two Jaguars and a Tiger Oscar, all about 12 inches in my 125 since they were little. They all get along. Yeah. We've done that too. We had an Oscar and 2 Midas and a Jaguar in a tank, and they all got along until they didn't. But it wasn't the Jaguar. It was the Midas that completely annihilated the Oscar. Didn't kill him. She saved him. But we never died. We never had any problems with that Jaguar at all. There was a Jack Dempsey in there too. But you just didn't know it because he always hid. But
it was that Red Devil.
Yeah. But
everything was good until it wasn't.
That's the weirdest thing. I mean, everybody got along, everybody was fine, and then they just didn't. But they weren't all together from the time they were babies. I'm somebody that I personally don't believe that that's a real thing. I think that it maybe helps a little bit with fish that grow at the same rate and grow to the same size. But to say if fish grow, there are people out there that believe that fish can grow up together and they'll be friends and they'll never hurt each other. Like a Rottweiler can grow up with a Chihuahua and they'll never hurt each other. Well, that's true with Rottweilers and Chihuahuas, but you put a Oscar with neon tetras and you put them all in there as babies, eventually you're not going to have any neon tetras. I mean, that's just the way nature works. So I think I could maybe be convinced if, say, a Jaguar and an Oscar grows together, you know, maybe they'd always be fine. But it's because neither one of those fish ever had the opportunity to fit the other in its mouth because they grow at the same rate. Oscars maybe grow a little faster, but Jaguars end up bigger in the end. I don't know. I mean, that that doesn't surprise me. Two Jaguars and an Oscar getting along. Severums, though, with Jaguars, and like I said, I think Oscars would be better suited to be with Jaguars than Severums. Severums just have those little mouths. Yeah. Can't do anything with them.
I really want a baby fox now.
Oh, call Will. Jennifer Anderson. Hey, y'all. Sorry about my order, John. Resubmitting after the stream. Lisa, thoughts on planting Discus tank?
Oh.
I noticed yours wasn't.
You know, the reason why I don't plant my Discus tank is because I feed my Discus so much. And it's just, with them, I just didn't want, how do I put it? It's just, I didn't want to have to worry about keeping plants alive with the Discus. Like, I only wanted to focus 100% on the Discus. I wanted them to be the focal point. I like to keep it at like a dark water setup. I always have. And that's just my taste in a Discus tank. And that's going to change eventually. I do think that plants are very beneficial to all fish tanks, and I just the ones that I have right now, I'm not planting them, but the right tank I would plant it. I would definitely plant it. So.
Yep, it's just the individual tank.
No, both the babies and the adults are all, and they're just.
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of what they're in. I was with you when you put them in there.
Oh my gosh, smarty pants! I'm trying to tell her.
She knows too, because she's a follower of us, and she's a huge supporter.
I think there's a lot of really pretty Discus tanks out there that are planted.
And Jennifer, you don't have to apologize for canceling that order. I did cancel it, right? I did get to that because I know it was right before the stream. I did do that, didn't I? Let me make sure.
Zen Ginger said a Chihuahua is not technically on the typical food chain list of a Rottweiler. Fish are different.
Well, yeah, that's true. I was just trying to make an impressive analogy. That's all I was trying to do.
Ooh, DJ Suss said, greetings from Virginia. In case you just missed it, Nats had first walk-off of the season while you were broadcasting.
I was watching that game earlier. Daggone it.
Wait, Nats? Oh, those gnats, not the ones that keep flying around my face.
No, not the ones that start with a G.
They're just as annoying too. So.
I was watching that game earlier. Daggone it. I wish I had it on when we were talking here. Whips World said, I asked Jason, but you actually kept them, so I'm asking you too. My arrow that's Arowana for short, nearly ripped the barbels off her face and quit eating. Has recovered, but the barbels reattached low and off center and are black now. There's no question there, Whip. That's just a statement. That's just saying, hey, she ripped herself up and she's got black barbels now.
Well, maybe he wants to know, is that normal? Is it okay that they're like that now?
That is unfortunately completely normal with arowanas. You will see arowanas quite regularly with gnarly barbels. And I've never seen them grow back. Maybe they do, but they grow at such a slow pace. They don't have a chance to grow back because they just get damaged again. I mean, one of the big problems that I've had in the past and had to resolve was, I'll give you a great example. I had a 125, which we still have, but I had the plastic, this was 12 years ago. I had the plastic like lids that come with the tank kits. You know what I'm talking about? The plastic lid that the light sits on back when you had the big tube lights. And does anybody know what I'm talking about?
No.
And then the plastic lid opens up. We've got these right now in the fish room. We're not using them, but the little plastic insert that inserts into the top of the tank, and then the light inserts into that, and then it has a little lid, and they're black, so you can't see through them.
Oh, those.
Old school stuff. It would be considered old school now.
Like what you would buy with a kit?
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. Yeah, and that's why I said like the ones you get with a kit.
Oh.
Everybody else heard that, right?
I wasn't listening to you.
So I'm only sitting right next to her. Look, we're right here. I mean, come on.
I know, but I was like,
I know it looks
zoning
like
out-
we're sharing the same camera,
I
but
was
we're
like
not.
zoning you like out of my mind and like reading stuff.
I'm used to that. But that had black plastic edges sticking down. And the 125 that I had them in until they were about a foot, and then I moved them up into a 8-footer. I had 2 arowanas in there, and they would jump up. And the black edge, I'm convinced it was that black edge that would damage their mouth. They would just always be beat up. And that's, a lot of times when you see large arowanas in aquariums, you will find that because they're always, and I mean, my thought was, sorry, I was experimenting at the time, and I said, maybe if it's not a glass lid, the fish won't be able to see anything. They won't want to jump. Because my thought was, if you have a glass lid, a little bug or a piece of dirt or a leftover piece of food or something could be sitting up on that glass, and the fish sees it and they jump up there trying to get it.
Or a kitten.
Yeah, a fly could land on it. I mean, whatever it is, and the fish goes for it, and then they end
Reno.
up getting hurt. This Reno wasn't even born yet.
Reno,
But-
I'm talking about in the garage, the last arowana. I
Yeah.
know that's what happened.
Oh, I know it was too. So that's why I had those black lids on there, because I thought I was doing the right thing, and it ended up ripping the fish up. But they were never really healed perfectly. I mean, I don't know. The only time I've seen arowanas that are like just perfect are when they're in big, giant, like public aquariums that have no lids, and or people that keep them in tanks with the water a little bit lower. Have you seen like some of Joey's older videos when he would put his arowanas in tanks? I've never talked to Joey about this, but I guarantee it's why he did it. When he would make big tanks and he would put his Asian arowanas in there, and the water would be like that low from the top. And I always knew exactly why he did that. He did that because of the arowana jumping. I mean, I think we're going to see him in Chicago. I'll ask him then. For all I know, he could be in here right now. He likes to surprise us from time to time. But I feel like that's why he did that, was because of the arowanas jumping. Now, what he has his arowanas in has a whole bunch of space. I haven't seen it in person, but you can tell there's a lot of space between the top and where the water ends. So, again, that's why his arowana is perfect. So, I don't know if I'm making any sense there, but that's one of the things that sucks about arowanas. I'm sorry about that whip, but it is true. I don't know if that helped or not. but we got a good 10 minutes out of it. So
Yeah.
Tesla Kildos are enjoying the stream, John and Lisa. I have a blue gourami that is the tank boss in my 125. He bosses around a 10-inch tiger Oscar
Wow.
and some medium-sized severums. Well, how about that?
Funny.
Picture big gouramis just being big betas. They're going to have big attitudes. I mean, they're related, so they just have big attitudes, and they're like, hey, this is my tank. You're living in here, Jack. Dempsey?
Oh, can we do plant of the day?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to do plant of the day.
Give me a chance to not talk.
All right. So this is basically a plant that I propagated from another plant that was propagated. So it's like the grandbaby of the original plant. Yeah. So the other day, I started propagating a chain of hearts. You can't really see anything. I know it's dripping.
All over the place.
It's fine. It's fine.
Because it's not your office.
Anyways, so basically all I did is I took like 3 pieces of like strings of hearts or chain of hearts, I'm sorry. And I cut it and I twisted it around in a circle, all 3 of them in different areas, and just kind of pushed it down into the soil. And as you can see, some of them are already starting to pop up. And I keep this in just a regular old styrofoam bowl filled with water so that the soil stays wet all the time in the very beginning, because I want it to start rooting down into the soil. And so I'm going to show you the plant that I propagated it from, which is propagated from the original one that I can't bring in here.
The original one is in our hallway, and it's on the top, as high as those bobbleheads, those bobbleheads,
yeah.
And it's touching the floor.
Yeah. So I propagated this one from the original one with the I put like a pot at the very bottom underneath where like there's so much of it.
And you got to realize you're only half the screen, so you got to look at this here. There you go.
So anyways, it goes on and on and on. Anyways, so
it's at least 6 feet long.
Yeah. Well, what I had done to start this one to propagate it, I let the end of the other one just start growing in here. Like I had dirt, just a pot of dirt, and I just let the bottom of the chain of hearts, just the ends grow in here. And then when it like filled up and was overflowing out of it, I just cut it. The other one, I just cut it. And it kept growing and growing. And then this one just kept growing and growing. So I took some pieces off of it and I propagated it just by putting it in the little pot. So there's 2 different ways you can propagate the chain of hearts, just in case you ever want to. And then I thought I would go ahead and share with you what I did with my hoo-hoos that I got from the dollar store. I had got last week, I showed on the member stream that I got these little hoo-hoo pots, and there was little fake succulents in it. So I took all the fake succulents out of it, and I got these things for $1 on clearance. So this whole project cost me $3. But I had propagated these little plants, and I put them in myself, just like, instead of the fake ones, I wanted the live ones, you know? So I have, here's another one. These are turtles, a little string of turtles. I propagated it from my own plant. And then my little string of raindrops that I propagated from one of my plants. So yeah, that's what I did. $3. Cute little project. So you make it one. Sorry.
This woman has filled our house full of plants. Somebody said MPS. Who was that? The chat goes so fast. Lisa is the cause of MPS, multiple plant syndrome. And that is so true. She has a problem.
I have them everywhere. I just can't help it. I'm always looking for things to propagate. I hadn't been propagating as much since we moved here because I just wanted to keep the plants alive that we brought. Like my Monstera plant, the one that could only be moved by a U-Haul, is twice as big as it was when we moved it here. It has its own room. It literally has its own room. Special lights on it, so it gets hit all around, not just what it gets from the window. But yeah, here in the last week, I've started like propagating even more. I took one of my silver pothos, and I call it a haircut because that's exactly what I did. It was growing from the very top shelf all the way down, and it was just so out of control because I never got it and I just never got it back in the right shape when we moved here because it had been so long and vining. So I just cut it, and I propagated four vases of water, and I just started putting them in there to start propagating it. So I have 4 more plants. So okay, I should probably stop talking about plants now.
Oh, there ain't nothing wrong with it. I like that. I was gonna get back to, I just wanted to check something here. Let's see. Okay, no. Wow. Probably shouldn't have checked that.
What?
I'll get to it in a second. Danielle said, do you think all shrimp do a really good job cleaning, or are only a mono shrimp the best? I love the blue shrimp, but I need to get a good cleanup crew too. Mono shrimps are very good for cleaning. So the thing is, if you think about how teeny tiny shrimp are, and you put 8 of them in your tank, how much can they really do? They're so small. Now, when they start breeding and they go crazy and they're everywhere, that's different. But the Amanos, they do work. So
I love Amano shrimp.
Yeah, and they're bigger and they're easier to see. My eyes are getting very old, and I like bigger stuff that's easier to see. But everybody does consider shrimp to be a cleanup crew, so they will do work. But, you put 4 or 5 of them in a 5-gallon tank. How much work do you think they can get done? Not a lot. Yeah. Greg Witt, I've had my Discus for years, and today I fed them frozen brine shrimp and came back about 2 hours later, and one was dead with a large marble-sized knot in his stomach. What do you think happened?
Maybe, I don't know. Did he overeat? Did he like it so much he ate too much and gorged himself to death?
I think that one of the natural instincts, because this was the natural instinct that I had, but then I had to think about it for a second and think, okay, no, that wouldn't have been a thing. But when you talk about frozen foods, the first instinct is, oh, they got a big piece that's frozen and swallowed it. But
they would spit it back out. The way Discus eat, they
well, and once it goes in the fish's body, it would melt and not be ice anymore too.
But the way they are, Discus will eat and spit
Peck
out,
at it,
eat
yeah.
and spit out. I mean, that's what I can't imagine a Discus eating a huge piece. I mean, it could have, but even still, that's not going to cause a great big knot in the stomach.
Yeah, sounds like what?
I mean, my Discus have ate a whole lot before, and their stomachs get big, maybe they just really, really liked it, and that one ate too much.
But a marble-sized knot, that to me sounds like
maybe a swim bladder thing.
Something went terribly wrong there. And I mean, your natural instinct is going to be to want to blame the food, and I don't blame you for blaming the food.
Because if that happened to me, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I would feel the exact same way, which is a shame because it could have happened with any food, I guess. I don't know. I mean, that's one of those, Greg, that I wish I could be like, oh, I've seen that 20 times and it's this. But that sounds like one of those absolute fluke scenarios that if it happened to me, I would be standing there going, I don't know what the hell happened to that fish. That's weird. I don't know what that is.
You know, and Dr. JT makes a good point. Could this be an issue not related to the BBS? And yeah, very much so. It could have. This fish could have had something getting ready to happen to it, regardless if you fed it its other food.
That's what I was saying. I mean, it could have happened at any time. I mean, it just sounds like something very flukish, very freakish. I
don't think.
I wouldn't let it completely panic you. Man, I don't know. That sucks, and I feel bad for you. I wish I had something better to give you, because that would drive me crazy too. Ellen Horcher, hey, Lisa and John, put your name first because she's smart. So y'all will be in Chicago, 2 question marks. I can't wait. So we plan to be, but Aquashella doesn't have us on the website, so that might be telling us something. I mean, it's our plan entirely. But the only featured creators they have so far are Flip Aquatics, the Pond Guy Greg Whitstock, and Coralfish 12G. So they might be kicking us out.
I was going to go to that one, but I guess not now.
They might be kicking us out. I don't know.
One less plane ride to Chicago, because we're going to be going there. We're going to Chicago the 22nd of September. And then we were going to be going 2 weeks later for Aquashella, but I guess we're not now. So I'll go ahead and make plans that weekend.
As far as we know, yes, we will be there. That is our plan. They have not updated the website. So I'm totally joking when I talk about that. It's real that they only have Rob, Greg, and George on there. But
sounds official.
I'm joking around when I say that's all that's going to be there. Because... I mean, yeah, we're going to be there. And we look forward to meeting you and your husband, too, because we see your names so much.
Mm-hmm.
MadTube58. I want a 240-gallon community tank. I have some mollies and Denison barbs, one of my favorite fish, by the way. Roseline sharks right now. I know they get 4 to 6 inches. Are fish like guppies and cherry barbs okay? I probably would not go guppies. I can't wait I wish I could see that tank. I mean, 240 gallons. I think a 240 gallon community tank is awesome because I automatically associate big tanks with big fish. But the Denison barbs are going to get big. I mean, you see a lot of people put them with big cichlids and they do well. Which is why I wouldn't want them with something teeny tiny like guppies. Cherry barbs, same thing. I mean, they're pretty small too. I would go with larger community fish. Of course, I'm going to tell you angels because why wouldn't I tell you angels? Mollies are fine. They get pretty good size. Denison barbs, I love. So yeah, but
really nice planet tank, and also with all of those like rainbow fish would look pretty.
Well done. Well played. Trying to get some brownie points with Bob Steenfod, I see. Is there something going on here I need to know about?
Shut up.
Y'all going to team up against me?
I'm just saying, I think rainbow fish, if you're going to do like a community type thing, there's some angel fish in there and lots of plants. Oh my gosh, that would be really pretty because I think rainbow fish look really pretty in a heavily planted tank with a lot of other community fish.
They definitely do. Cannot argue with that.
But not a guppy.
If you argue with that, you will lose.
I think a guppy tank with just guppies is fine. And that would be pretty. I think that would be cool. Just all guppies in a big tank like that.
240-gallon tank with 750 guppies in it. Yes.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome. Melissa Jeswald, Lisa, I'd love it if you'd do a video introducing all of your cats. I think that's a great idea. And you planned it.
I need to.
Carl is hogging the limelight, but I love him. Smooches to all the kitties.
Carl, okay, Melissa. This is what people need to know about Carl. Carl is a jerk. He is a straight up a-hole. And I'm just saying it. I love him. I love him. I will never give him back to whoever wants to think I took their cat, because I didn't.
That's a long story.
It's my cat now. But the thing is, because he was a stray cat, that's all I'm going to say about that. This cat is, how do I put it? He's bipolar. And I'm going to say it nicely. He'll come up to me and he'll rub all over my leg and just love on me. And then
sweetest
just
cat
keep
ever.
doing, oh my gosh, especially at dinner time. But if I turn around and I walk the opposite direction of where his dish is, he will bite me really hard. And I'm like, ow, you a-hole. And I hate to be that person, but it hurts to get bit by a cat. And then there was this one time, it was this summer. My daughter was loving on him and he was being all nice to her. And she's like, wow, Carl's really changed. He's so sweet. Bit her right on her lip. So Carl knows how to act.
He shows well on camera.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel really bad for baby kitty, but she's just learned to deal with him.
Baby kitty is the one that's out there with him, and her real name is Meredith, but she's never been called
Meredith
that.
From Grey's Anatomy.
She is the complete opposite. She is the sweetest cat I've ever met, ever. Mm-hmm. I do have a thing for Jasper. I mean, Jasper and I are close friends.
And then Gerald, Gerald is so cute, but he's the type of cat that will, if I'm out there and I'm like petting him and giving him a lot of attention and Jasper comes up, he'll go and smack Jasper. Like,
it's true.
Stay away. She's petting me. She's my human. And then there's Honey. Honey is just so sweet. I love Honey. She's a doll baby.
You need to start making a plan for your channel to do an introduction to all of your cats.
Mama Cat is my one-eyed FIV kitty. And she does, I have her with Reno, who is actually her kitten, but twice as big as her.
Fat.
So they're together, and she is a very nice, sweet cat. And I have Honey with them. They coexist. Even though that, Mama Cat is FIV positive, her and Reno are fine together. And then when I introduced Honey, it took me like almost 2 years. I was just letting them see each other at the basement door because I kept them apart. They just love on each other. They bump heads, and they love each other. Like, they like each other more than Mama Cat and Reno. So I'm like, it's okay. I talked to the vet about it, and they don't bite each other or nothing.
We've only got 7 minutes left, so you'll do that video on your channel very soon. I'll film it, and you do all the talking.
Yeah, I'll talk about cats on my channel.
Yemi connected with the $20 super chat. Good grief, as if you haven't done enough tonight. Nova Tropical Fish Store in Woodbridge spoke highly of you all. Since then, I've been so into the hobby. We in the DC Metro appreciate you guys. Well, thank you. Definitely a fan of Nova Tropicals. Yes. I was in that store before it even opened.
Right. I found it.
Yep, she found it for me. I was still working my furniture business then, and we miss going up there. My Congo Tetris came from that store.
Oh, yeah.
And do you have anything from there?
The Endlers. They've lasted a long time, but I had one jump out, and a couple of them have passed. But
that's not Nova Tropical's fault.
No, we had them for a long time, long time.
Stacy Wilson, member for 10 months. Woohoo!
Nice.
Thanks for another enjoyable time this evening. My husband and I tune in every Thursday. When can we expect new videos on your other channels? Well, we just talked about the cat introduction video. As far as the Money Pit channel for me, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could tell you, but it's just hard.
I
really love the idea, but I kind of almost bit off more than I can chew. But I'm not giving up on it, but I can't give you a date on when that's going to happen. Sorry. I wish I could. 21 Biking, BK King. 21 BK King. It's not biking. With a $10 super chat and nothing on it. Just a avatar with what looks, it's very small. It looks like a Camaro to me, but it's very small. I don't know. And it looks like a very nice one because I really like that color scheme. If that's your car, I am jealous. We were talking about Camaros today.
Oh, yeah.
fantasizing about, like, if we could someday buy a fancy car that we would just take out on date nights, would it be a Camaro or a Mustang? And I'm not going to make that decision because. So I said, what's it? And she said Camaro.
That was my first car. 80.
But we've both owned
Something.
Fox body Mustangs.
87 Camaro was my first car. But yeah, I did. We were talking about, I had that Mustang.
We
Mustang
both
GT.
had Fox body Mustangs. Mine was a 91. Yours was a
92.
92.
It was teal and it had the runners.
The Vanilla Ice Mustang. That's what we had.
And it had the mufflers that went vroom vroom.
Flowmasters.
Yes.
Mine was white with red interior with the Flowmasters on it too. So yeah, and we were probably driving those around at the same time.
Mine was cooler though.
Ah, well, we can argue
It was
about that
probably
later.
faster too.
It's probably never going to happen. But
I'd have raced you and kicked your butt.
Ryan Gloff, thanks for the content. Wish I could have big tanks in my apartment. My favorite fish are frontosas, blue dolphins, and Oscars. Love seeing the Oscars on your channel, though. Yeah, that would be so tough to be a fan of big fish and live in an apartment that you can't have big fish. I feel for you for there, because those three fish that you just mentioned are three of my favorites too. I own a blue dolphin that's about 12 inches, and I have the three big Oscars. I don't have any frontosas right now, but I absolutely love that fish too. So, and I could see a tank in my future that looks like my yellow lab tank, but is full of frontosas. I could see that being a thing. All the different types of frontosas. It'd be a lot of fun. But I feel for you, my friend. Just, you know what? Stick with it. Have fun with the smaller stuff. And then when you get a bigger place, just think about how happy you will be to get that big tank. Having many large tanks myself, but I'm also a lot older than you. I can tell by the tiny avatar that I'm looking at. Nice beard, by the way. It took me a long time to be able to do that. So stick with it. You'll be all right. Daniel Landros Jr. became a member along with Joseph Arenado. I think I said it right the second time. Both of you, welcome to the team. Don't forget to join us next Thursday before this stream, 6:30 Eastern. We do a little members only stream. Adam Schoenwald, as if he hasn't done enough tonight. $20 super chat, and he this guy. My water is good. I even started a dope book shooting term for not just my water, but airlines and equipment. Wait a second. I even started a dope book shooting term for not just my water, but airlines and equipment, fish health, and filter cleaning. I just have a moody biatch, which also happens to be his new name too.
Cool.
What?
Well, I don't know. Let me look.
I'm confused by that, Adam. You've been here all night with us tonight and came out with a $20 super chat, and I have no idea what you're saying.
Is it sort of like, okay, so my son writes me from boot camp, and it'll be like this entire page. There's no periods or commas.
No, it's not like that. He's got a lot of periods and commas.
Everything. And I'm like, okay, in my mind, mentally stop. And okay, my water is good. I even started a dope book, shooting term, okay, for not just my water, but airlines and equipment, fish health, and filter cleaning. I just have a moody biatch, which also happens to be his new name. Oh, so like maybe.
So he has a book that he's using to document everything.
Yeah, duh.
That's good.
What do you
That's
not
very good.
Get?
I get that now. It just took me a little while.
Because it's a book and you don't like to read and stuff?
I like audiobooks, especially Harry Potter ones.
Well, you know what? This is somebody that clearly likes to document stuff on paper and
that's very good. She's been documenting
That's
my
what I
blood
do.
pressure on paper every day.
yes.
I
do that with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. We are running low on time here, though. We don't want to step on Fisher and Fever's toes, folks. If you want to go over to Fisher and Fever, you don't have to do anything. As soon as we're done here, YouTube will automatically take you over there. It's very, very easy to do. So stay here and you'll go over and hang out with them. Daniel Landeros Jr., again, with the $5, I have a small multis and punks. That's nice. They ignore shrimp, brine, and micro pellets. What else can I give them? 2 punks are digging under rock decor for any reason. Yeah, because that's what they do. They like to dig. They like to get underneath all of those things and create their little hiding spots and all of that. Don't panic over that unless the rocks are going to fall over on them. Don't do that. Don't let them do that. But digging under the rocks, not something to be concerned about at all. I know we just had a catastrophe situation about frozen foods, but try that. Try some frozen foods, put them in there, and see what ends up happening. Because almost all fish eat frozen foods like it's candy. So
I want to address something. Naja
it's already 9:31.
Naja said at KG Tropicals, John, I see why you stay away from Facebook. Even Tank Talk has gotten so toxic. Well, I don't really think that too much. I mean, I've seen a few things and I've deleted and blocked people because I don't tolerate that crap. So, you know,
it's hard to keep track of all of it.
It really is. And we have very good moderators in there that do their best too. Best thing to do, you see something, you don't like it, just report it. Because I do not have a problem kicking people out, especially the jerks. I've seen a few in there lately and I kick them out. No time for that crap.
Joe Provenzano, is there any way to get rid of drain flies? What are drain flies?
Is it like gnats?
I don't know what those are, Joe.
Probably gnats.
Why are you always asking me questions that I don't know the answer to? That's not nice.
Drain flies?
That's mean of you
know
to
what
do
you
that.
Do? Put some Dawn soap in there, let it get all soapy, and they'll die.
I'm not sure what drain flies are. I don't think we have those in North Carolina.
No,
We just have eye
do.
gnats.
We have every nasty bug you can think of that makes me want to pull my hair out every day because they drive me so damn insane.
Yeah, they're bad.
Drain bugs are probably gnats because they like water, and you just stick a bunch of soap in there and let it get all sudsy and just let that water run. Let that soap go down there and kill them all. Kill them.
That's how she feels.
Kill them all. Get some basil. Grow some basil.
Lakeisha Mills, woohoo, 3-month member. Yes, look at you. You're shining with that new badge. Stephanie McAdigan. I think I nailed that. I think I got it. Missed all of your streams today. Fell asleep. Hope you both are doing well. We're definitely doing well. And, sorry you missed everything, but the glorious thing about YouTube is that you can just rewind it all the way to the beginning if you really want to see everything that went down today. We had all kinds of fun today. But, yes, it is a Joseph shirt. You've gotten so many compliments on the Joseph shirt. And this is Joe Coy's logo shirt. We saw him last weekend. It was a lot of fun. Folks, this has been a lot of fun, but we can't be messing around anymore. It's 9:34 already. So
you talk too much.
So I'm going to let her say goodbye to all of you. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out. It was a lot of fun. I didn't mean to go over or let him go over, but it was great hanging out, and thank you to everybody for hanging out with us tonight, and mods, thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. And thank you for the new members, and Adam for getting us more members, and thank you for the super chats and just everybody chatting and helping each other out in the chat. So it was really great, lots of fun. We'll see you next Thursday, and members will see you before the live stream. So have a great weekend and stay safe this weekend. If you're in the U.S., it is Labor Day weekend, but just remember that the judge will not be in until Monday. So don't do anything stupid, and have a nice weekend. Bye.
Sounds like she has experience.
No.